When you think of podDJ, probably the first thing that comes to your mind is jailbreaking the iPhone, but you should probably change your perception about podDJ because he's an App Store developer as well. Yes, in fact, podDJ is his first App Store app and it's available right now. Now, before I get into this overview of podDJ, let me just say that I'm not a DJ, so if you are a DJ, bear with me a bit. But of course, anything that you would expect from a modern DJ app is included with podDJ, including a couple of turntables, obviously. You have cue points you can set up. You have a crossfader, which is a staple for any DJ setup. And you can use all these features within the podDJ app to create mixes using the music that you already have stored locally on your iPad. So anything that you can access with the music app that's stored locally, not in iCloud, but anything that you have saved and downloaded, you can play and mix up using podDJ. See, I just imported this song, and you can see the album art is placed conveniently right there on the wax. And you can play the record just like this. So it's your typical DJ setup here. You can stop the record just by tapping that button, and it kind of slows down to a stop. And you can just reach over, grab, and move the needle to a specific part of the song that you want to start at, and play it just like that. Now, obviously, I'm not actually letting you guys hear the music. And as you can see, I'm kind of scratching it up right now, but I'm not letting you hear the music for this particular song because it's copyrighted music, and YouTube doesn't like that too much. Now here you see the waveform for the music right here. So you can see exactly where, for instance, hi-hats hit, drums hit, and it makes it easier for you to see. Now, obviously, when it comes to DJing, the BPM or the beats per minute plays an integral role, and actually podDJ detects the beats per minute and allows you to easily match up or sync the BPM between two different tracks. That allows you to have a smooth mix, a smooth transition between the two tracks. They're on the same BPM, so it sounds good. And this waveform allows you to match up the exact spot where you want to cue in. So you can set a cue point, just tap that, and it cues in right at that exact spot, and then you tap it again and it starts playing directly from that exact spot. So whenever you tap the cue button for that particular cue point, it resumes right from that spot. Now, of course, since this is a DJ setup, you obviously need more than one turntable. And of course, there's a second turntable in podDJ, and you can load up music to that second turntable as well. And that's how you actually create your mix. So just like we did before, we're going to go ahead and import another song here. Let's go back to our playlist. And all these songs are songs that have been downloaded from iCloud. So you can't actually import something that hasn't been downloaded yet from iCloud. You need to download it first, and then you can play it. So here we go. This one didn't have album art, but you can see it placed its own little art there. So now I'm going to try to mix it up a bit using the transform button. You can actually assign specific actions to this button. You can make it mute the source, or you can make it punch in the source. So let me just show you what I mean here. Yeah, okay, it wasn't the greatest example, but you get the point. Now this sync button we're going to talk about a little bit later, but this is a very integral part of DJing. It allows you to sync up the BPMs between two tracks according to the thresholds that you have set. Now also keep in mind that when you're trying to create a good mix, you want to be able to adjust your equalizer settings. So you can adjust the lows, the mediums, and highs for a specific track. This allows you to create an ideal mix that sounds good and mixes well with the other track. Now, there are tons of options included with podDJ, a lot of advanced options actually. You have the output, which is very important as well for a DJ. You can output to a specific speaker. You can have it stereo output. You can have it left output, right output for both turntables. So each individual track gets its own output scheme. Now, when it comes to monitoring your mix, you want to make sure that you're monitoring to a pair of headphones. That way, the audience or your crowd or your party isn't hearing you testing out cue points and things like that. You want to make sure that your monitor output goes to headphones only so that you can monitor the mix, but at the same time, keep the crowd jumping. Now here's some advanced EQ settings. You have a pitch slider range. This is what I was talking about earlier. If you set your pitch slider range to a higher value, this allows you to sync tracks which have dynamically different BPMs. It's going to make for a less accurate sound, but at least you can match the BPMs to those two tracks. There are other options here as well, touch filters, gain filters, more advanced options for more advanced DJs. Lots of stuff that you're going to find within the settings here. Transform button actions. This is what I was talking about earlier with your transform button. You have a reverse crossfader. You have the crossfader curve. Lots of options here. And for a 1.0 release, I'm pretty impressed with the amount of options and the stability of podDJ. I haven't had it crash on me once, and this is doing a lot of stuff here, mixing 2 different tracks. A lot's going on, and it requires some processing power, obviously, to make this work. Now, since I set a higher pitch range, you can see I can now sync these tracks successfully, whereas earlier I could not because the BPMs differed so greatly. But since I have the higher threshold, now I can beat match both tracks together. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a DJ app with tons of options, if you're looking for a DJ app that's stable, something intuitive and straightforward, then give podDJ a try. Don't just try it because pod2G made it, but try it because it's just a really good app. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This is Jeff with iDownloadBlog.